everybody, welcome to the Comic Gamer Movie Show. My name's Deshaun, and today I'm here to make this video. I made a video last week talking about, or actually maybe it was the week before that, asking the question, is that really Quicksilver? Well, I have the answer. Now, personally, I have my personal answer, and I feel like it's the obvious answer, and if you don't think it is, it's because your inner fandom and your inner fanboy or fangirl wants this to be the Evan Peters Fox QuickSilver, because if it is, then that means the door's open for all of the Fox characters to just come into the MCU, and that means you might be able to get Patrick Stewart and Ian McKellen as Magneto, and Charles Xavier. You might be able to get Hugh Jackman's Wolverine in the MCU and all this other thing. So people got so caught up in that. When Evan Peters first showed up in episode 5, I believe, everybody got caught up in that. Everyone's got so caught up in that they believe most of everyone. I saw most of everyone. There were some people who were with me who were like, I think something strange is going on here, but most of everyone was just like, oh my God, the multiverse is broken open. Here it comes. Here comes all these new, all the Fox characters. And I gotta, once again, agree with John Campea and a couple others. It was John Campea and a couple others, New Rockstars kind of fucked with that a little bit too, kind of like put that out there, like maybe this isn't what you think it is too. But I have to agree with him when he says that, in my back of my mind, I was like, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I've already made a video talking about the Spider-Verse and how I feel about that. In the back of my mind, when Evan Peters showed up, because I didn't even completely believe it. I heard about that months ago, but I didn't completely believe it. When he showed up, in back of my mind, I was thinking, I hope this isn't going to just be their explanation for mutants. I was like, I hope they're not going to just be like, well, mutants just came here from another universe, so that's how you just have all these, and they're just be like, well, yeah, we're going to just bring all these characters back, and they're going to be the characters in the MCU. Like, I was hoping they were going to just bring, Patrick Stewart or James McAvoy and them over and be like, well, they're our X-Men, everything that happened in their world's canon too. I was like, that just seemed lazy and unnecessary, not to mention the Fox's continuity is garbage. I mean, it is all over the place and doesn't make any sense. The fact of the matter is that that Charles Xavier is supposed to look like that. They don't even age normally in that world. Like, if you remember, like, First Class. And by the time when you're at First Class with Charles Xavier as like a grad student, he's no older than 25. By the time you get to fucking what was it, Dark Phoenix, that's like 40, 50, that's almost 50 years later, and he looks the exact same. Everyone does, which is impossible. So the continuity in that world is completely fucked up. Half, if not most of the movies actually aren't that good. It's like Deadpool, Logan, the first one, the second one, and then the second one, and then Days of Future Past, and maybe First Class, and then it's all ass. Well, because then you got Wolverine, I don't think The Wolverine is bad, but it's not great. You got Origins, you got X3, you got Apocalypse, and you got Dark Phoenix. So half of their movies are shit or okay. So it's not like, so it's kind of one of those situations where it's just like, well, half of your movies aren't good. Some a lot of the actors and whatnot are aged out and don't want to do it anymore. Why would you want to just bring that entire continuity over and make that the mutants? It never made sense to me. Which is why in my video when I made it, I was like, I acknowledged the fact that as of right then and there was nothing I could really say. After episode 6, I can definitively say that is not Fox's Quicksilver. This is not an X-Men crossover event. This is a fake out. Okay, you know what? Fake out, never mind. No, not a fake out. This is fucking chess. This is chess. This is a calculated move, a calculated casting everything about this is calculating. Kevin Feige in the MCU are fucking nuts with this. They know that you know about the rumors. They know that you know, or you think you know, that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield and Alfred Molina and Jamie Foxx, all these former Spider-Man characters, all the former Spider-Mans and his former villains are gonna be in Far From, or whatever, Spider-Man 3, the new Spider-Man 3. They know that you think, so them taking advantage of the knowledge that you think you know, putting in Evan Peters Quicksilver in this series to completely throw you off, to completely make you get wrapped up in connecting your dots. You see, because all of you did it, didn't you? All you went, oh my God, it's Evan Peters. That means, that makes sense with the fucking, because Tobey Maguire and them, they're going to be in Spider-Man. So, oh man, this is going to be a crossover and, they might bring this guy back. You got so caught up in that shit. It never once crossed your mind that this might not actually be that. And some people are pissed. Some people are pissed. I watch reaction videos and I watch some people's reaction to episode 6, and it varied from what is happening to people genuinely getting kind of upset. They're like, no, I want it to be that. I want it to just be Evan Peters' Quicksilver from the Fox universe. What are you doing? Why are you making it seem like he might not be? I want it to be that. Some people were angry. The Real Rejects, which I love those guys. I love the Real Rejects one because he had a hard time, really, what's the word I'm looking for? Understanding that it wasn't. He had a hard time. He was like, it was even and I've seen that from Coy Jandreau. Some people have a hard time even being like, no, it's still that. It's just something different. They have a hard time even coping with the idea that it's not that Quicksilver. But at the end of the day, people, it isn't. You know why it isn't that Quicksilver? And because, first of all, from the very beginning, I thought it was suspicious how he appeared. He just appeared, Wanda didn't call him, and Wanda did not recognize him. She had no clue who he was until he said something. And then she was like, Pietro. But if she didn't recognize him at first, there's a reason for that, because there was no reason for her to be able to recognize him, because this isn't really Pietro. She didn't recognize him at first for a reason. Not to mention, and then in this episode, even doubling down, she can't control him. She can't manipulate him. He understands all the things that are going on in his world. He keeps making weird references. He seemingly has taken this huge massive interest, not only in the children, but separating Vision from her. He clearly knows more than he's leading on. Not only does he know more than he's leading on, but his what's the word I'm thinking? His reaccounting of their past events are messy and not quite correct. Like that whole thing about him getting shot like a chump in the road. That's not how that went. That's not how it completely went down. There are many things that just scream it's not him. And while some people would be tempted to say that, Wanda's just making him say these things or remember these things, Wanda would not make him ask her where the kids have been. The questions he asked, the way he talks, even the way in that near the tail end of the episode where he's like, Wanda, you can trust me. I'm not your husband. You can talk to me. What was it? It was like, I'm not. It was like, I'm not. I can't remember. It was some along the lines of, I'm not your husband. I'm not this. But he never said, I'm your brother. He never said, I'm your brother. And he said, you can trust me. And just like I said, in a lot of the comments that he makes, the way that he acts, the way that he behaves, is something shady about him. Not to mention, the shark commercial suspiciously felt like it was talking about him. Right down to the shark having the same exact colors as him. I'm just saying, people, I don't believe this is Fox's Quicksilver. I don't believe this is Quicksilver at all. And it's hard for some people to hear this, and it's hard for some people to believe, because there's literally been a divide, not a divide, but there's thing going on, because I even posted something on Twitter that got a lot of likes, and like some angry that people are like they feel cheated that it isn't a Fox X-Men crossover, as if they promised you that. By the way, how do you feel cheated about some shit that even if you do know about, you weren't supposed to know about? And if you wait a minute, you know, like, so if it's not real, if it's false information, now you got told by somebody else. You know what that'd be like? That'd be like me asking my cousin. That'd be like my cousin giving me a tip on some shit, being like, "Hey, dude, there's this thing going on. Go do it. You maybe should go do it." And you go out there and it's not happening. And they're like, "Well, we never did that." Are you gonna get mad at the company, at the place you're going to that was supposed to have this like lowdown tip? That they were like, we weren't doing that? Or are you gonna get mad at the person who told you that? And you can't look like you're looking at all these scoopers and stuff and like, no, you and you've watched all these scoopers and you've seen all these fucking leaks, quote unquote leaks, and you've seen all this information out there that has not been put out by Marvel or the MCU or anyone from Disney, and you start to believe it so much that you start to wrap your mind, that it starts to become fact to you, that then when it doesn't happen, you feel like the MCU, you feel like that company or whatever the movie it is cheated you, even though they never said anything about that. No one ever said they were going to do an X-Men crossover. No one ever said that was Evan Peters' Quicksilver. Quicksilver, it could have been anybody. Evan Peters could be playing any character who just happens to have the same name and the same speed. Like, the thing is, no one ever said these things. So when I see people get upset at the idea that isn't Evan Peters' Quicksilver from Fox, that we are not getting that crossover, that this entire thing is to fuck with the information that you think you know, I laugh. Because that is so clever. Because if the MCU, if it is what I think it is, and the MCU really is doing this, and that is not Quicksilver, and this is a person pretending to be Quicksilver, this will set the MCU up so that no matter what you hear, no matter what you think, it might not be true. That they can legitimately trick you into thinking, into believing what you want to believe, and taking advantage of it. And that is beautiful to me. But yeah, I don't think this is Quicksilver, but you can comment below. Change my mind. Do you think that after episode 6, do you think that that's Evan Peters' Quicksilver from Fox? Or do you think, like I think, that is a shady motherfucker? I don't know who he is. I don't know if he's Nightmare. I don't know if he's Mephisto. All I know is he knows too much. He asks too many questions. He's trying to separate Wanda from Vision. He's way too close to the kids. He keeps making weird demon spawn and demon comments. He's completely okay with everything going on in the bubble. And he's completely aware of everything going on in the bubble. To the point of referencing his sitcom purpose. That he could just reference it. He is completely out of Wanda's control. There's nothing he can do to him. There's nothing she can do to him. There is something wrong with that guy. Don't know what, don't know why, but there's something off. Anyways, thank you guys for joining the Comic Game Movie Show. Please remember to like, subscribe, and comment below and let me know. Do you think that is Fox's Quicksilver? Do you agree with me that it ain't? Thank you guys again. See you in the next one.